Alright, hello. Today we're going to talk about the Berserker Changes. We lost General Disarray, so it's looking pretty grim. Not even gonna hold you. Like, Berserker's not even my main anymore because at this point I'm just so upset that General Disarray is gone, and they didn't even like quality of life to like continue the PvP. Because I mean, like, Berserker Awakening was a shit grinder. It's always been a shit grinder for like the longest time. If you grinded on Awakening, you were just like, you were doing so many buttons and the damage was just like, it was okay, it was like decent. I used to grind on Awakening all the time, but now it's like it's super juiced and it's really nice. And they did some quality of life with like Flame Pummel and stuff, which this is the skill that got replaced, or that was the replacement for General Disarray, which is super upsetting because General Disarray was a huge movement tool as well as like a cancel for a ton of different abilities. It was essentially ground lifting but a more mobile version. So you had this little leap that you would leap forward and then it would go into the ground lifting animation, and you could use that to cancel into many different things: slugfest, scatter shot, split shots, like, or a seismic blast. Any of these abilities you could cancel from General Disarray. It functioned the exact same way as ground lifting, but just with the minor unprotected movement ability. So they replaced it with this garbage, which is, it's not total garbage. Like, I can use this in a couple different ways, but like, it's not just the movement, it was also like the cancel tool. And the problem with Flame Pummel is that there is zero cancels. Zero. You cannot cancel dick with Flame Pummel. It's terrible. And also, the other thing I want to mention, ground lifting and then General Disarray, they tied together. So whenever you put add-ons on ground lifting, you actually got the add-ons through General Disarray. So that was a huge thing. And because Flame Pummel is its own ability, yeah, you lose that little bit of, you know, like, kind of like, what's it called here, like utility add-ons, I guess. So now you have to use ground lifting if you want to get those add-ons. You have to use this, which is not terrible. I mean, like, you do it anyway, but it was just a reposition tool as well as just an overall different option that you could use in a variety of different scenarios. So let's kind of talk real quick about Flame Pummel. All right, so Flame Pummel is this weirdo ability. It's a knockback and then it goes into a float. It's got a little bit of movement, and also it has no cooldown. And what I mean by that, it does have a cooldown, but like, you can use it off a cooldown. It just does less damage, which, by the way, it does like dick for damage anyway. I mean, like, what, 70%? Why is this minus 70%? Who's doing the balancing over there? What the fuck? This shit, that's so bad. It's literally the worst shit ever. I mean, like, it still does damage, but like, it's just mid as fuck. So like, let's take a look at the range here. All right, so we're gonna go from here and here. So boom, it hit, but it was trash. Like, it's not nearly as good. So what would make this ability better, this is just criticism from me, make the ability cancelable. First of all, if you're not going to give General Disarray back or whatever, then at least make it cancelable. I can forgive everything else if you can cancel the leap. So the moment that you leap, right, the first part of that, if you can hit that and then cancel, so like, let's say knockback and then like fucking ground lift in the middle of that and cancel the second part of the animation, that is completely fine. I can get over that. I can forgive everything, because then I can still use the ability and just get behind people and then like still cancel into ground lift, you know. But if, you know, it's still slower than General Disarray, but it's not bad. There's a couple different things that I've been using this with, just from a PvP standpoint. Like, for example, like Feral Stampede, right? I would go into Feral Stampede and then you go swap into that and then boom, and then you can still, like, that's a decent engage if you really want to like go behind someone's FG or whatever. That's not terrible per se. It's not the worst thing in the world, but it's also just, again, it's unprotected and so long. It's just not, I hate it so much. I mean, like, that's like the one application I have found that's like somewhat decent, is being able to cancel it into, like, to just go into it from Feral Stampede. It's just a longer version of General Disarray, because that's what I used to do to catch people. I would immediately Feral Stampede, pass their FG, C-swap, and then General Disarray engage, and it would be a float, and I could go immediately into Seismic, Scatter Shot, whatever. I could even do I could do Slugfest too, which, I mean, like, this is an important thing, is like being able to just like cancel into that is so powerful. And they just, I don't even, Like it's art. Is the class gimped? No, by no means. I don't think we're gimped, but like you have drastically changed how we can move around. Or I should say, not necessarily move around, but just our like engages and stuff. Like now we have, like, it feels like this is our engage now with like ground lift. Like it feels like that's what we have to do, and there's not really a whole lot. And again, if you don't plan to give anything, like give General Disarray back or anything, all I'm asking is at least make this cancelable. Like just allow us to cancel into fucking like ground lifting, and that would, I could forgive everything else. And on top of that, dude, make it a core skill. For the love of God, this is a core opportunity to actually make this a decent core skill, because right now there is one, maybe two viable core skills. You got Titan Blow, which is what everybody runs. Some people run core devastation for 1v1s, and then some people run ground lifting for the SA if they want to play more melee oriented. Me personally, I was actually a core seismic enjoyer, because I was catching people all the time with just the knockdown, and like, you know, since you can cancel in a split shot, so it was like double KD back to back, it would actually throw people off. So I was a huge enjoyer of that. But realistically, the only two that I've ever seen anybody use is devastation and Titan Blow. Flamebuster, useless core, never use it. Blasting, nobody, in what situation is this usable? Like when am I ever going to use this forward guard? It makes zero sense. Well, why do I need a forward guard for a 16 AP buff? It's just like, I'm never using this. And like in a combo, right, a lot of combos like consist of like just that, and it's like like 1 second of a forward guard. It is an absolutely useless core skill. I have no reason to use this whatsoever. So blasting, flamebuster, and probably core seismic can go, and just give flame pummel a core skill. If you're gonna keep the elongated animation and you're gonna disregard everything I've said, if you're not gonna make it cancelable, you're not gonna make it its own thing or whatever, and you want to keep it as is, I demand a core skill. Literally put SA on this thing. SA. That's it. If you're gonna do this to me, give me another SA that actually functions. Put time and effort and make sure this shit works. I don't even care. Make it an FG. I don't even care. Just give it some kind of fucking protection and give it a core skill. Honestly, my vote SA. If you're gonna keep the damage, that shit, you're gonna give me protections to be able to use this thing, all right? You take away my movement, you take away my engages, you take away my cancels, you're gonna give me an SA. You're lucky I'm not asking for an iframe, all right? Now, seriously, this shit is garbage. What am I supposed to do with this? In what scenario? Like what? I'm like, oh yeah, here we go. There's a 30 man ball in front of me. Let me just go ahead and what the fuck am I supposed to do? Tell me. How do I use this? How do I use this? Somebody tell me, how do I use this? Jack's fucking skill. I'm telling you guys, this shit is terrible. I don't know who's making the decisions over there, but they're just on dick. 100% on dick. Don't even get me started with the Valkyrie changes. That's going to be its own thing after this video, but it really is sad. Like it's just like there was no thought into it whatsoever. Everybody was just like, you know what? Berserker's really terrible at PvE grinding. Let's not forget that, you know, Megu exists, Wuso exists, Striker exists, where you can just tag and just grind for free. Like, I don't understand what the whole idea was, just to gimp the PvP to some degree so that way we could grind better. I'm still not going to grind on Awakening. It's still not better than 90% of the other classes that are very good. It's not better than Suck Warrior. It's not better than Megu. It's not better than Wusa. It's not better than Striker. Why would I grind an Awakening? You have done virtually nothing but make it viable to grind on Awakening, but it doesn't mean that it's good. Doesn't mean that you should. I mean, just because you have the power to do something doesn't mean that it's a good fucking idea. I'm just saying, like, it's kind of ridiculous if I'm being completely honest with you. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents about Flame Pummel. It's just kind of angry malding video. So just, you know, Lord Maldius, it is what it is. It's fucking AIDS. Not a fan of this change. I'm glad that I untagged, not untagged, but like just re-rolled off of Berserker. I just can't be asked to play this right now. I'm on strike. So until further notice, Berserker's dead. I'm not touching this class whatsoever until this shit gets fixed, because I'm not about to deal with this nonsense. So that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.